Am I audible?
Sorry for the inconvenience because of this audible problem. Now, am I audible to all? I hope so. Okay, thank you. So, I welcome you all for this a unique faculty development program of blockchain and AI in the healthcare system. And we have with us the Professor Rashid Ali, who is the keynote speaker of this program. I will give you just a brief profile of the Professor Rashid Ali. He is a professor of Computer Science and Engineering Department in the Aligarh Muslim University, and he is the coordinator and that principal of the Interdisciplinary Center of the Artificial Intelligence in the AMU. He has received Vishwasarya Young Faculty Research Fellowship from the Government of India. He has awarded Taif University Research Excellence Award by the Taif University, Saudi Arabia. He is also a senior member of the IEEE. Professor Rashid Ali has an excellent academic profile. He has done the PhD in the Computer Science Engineering in 2010, and he has worked on performance evaluation of the web search engine. He is the author of many international journal and conferences. He has presented and organized and conducted many international conferences, and he was also chairperson of the many international conferences. He has been a constant reviewer of the article of the international journals and conference proceedings. He has supervised 25 MTech dissertations and 7 PhD theses. He is currently supervising 5 PhD candidates under his supervision. His research interest is, along with this, AI in the healthcare, machine learning, soft computing techniques, recommended system, and social media data analytics. I welcome sir for this faculty development program, and I hope that all those participants who have joined, they will uh, impart the very good information from the expertise who has agreed to serve as a expert for our faculty development program. And now I invite Professor Rashid Ali to start deliver his talk. Professor Rashid Ali, sir.
Okay, thank you. I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Just I'll share my screen. Yeah, my screen is shared there.
Your presentation is visible. AI in healthcare opportunity, challenges, and ethical considerations.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Please.
So let us start the talk on AI in healthcare, opportunity, challenges, and ethical considerations. First of all, I will briefly introduce what is AI, and then we'll discuss what are the different topics of artificial intelligence and its applications in healthcare. And after that, we'll discuss the ethical challenges and advantage and limitation of use of AI in healthcare. So, what is artificial intelligence? As the name suggests, it is something you can say artificial. What does mean artificial? That it is produced by human art or effort rather than originating naturally. And what is intelligence? Intelligence is the ability to acquire knowledge and use it. So, if we talk of intelligence, uh, I give an example. Suppose someone is going through a road, suppose is riding a bike or a scooter whatsoever, and suddenly it is he sees some bump hole on the road. What he will do? Naturally, it's quite possible that if he sees the bump hole, he will apply the brakes or at least slow down, because it might hurt him. He may get an accident. So, how does this happen? This is the inherent quality of every human being, that we are intelligent. Our human intelligence is so much that we can act, we can take decision according to the environmental conditions and save ourselves from a lot of happenings if possible. So this is the ability that we are acquiring knowledge from the environment and then use it. So the usage is with the action, the proper action according to the need, the action is to be performed. Suppose someone sees the bump hole, and by his experience he knows that okay, if I go in full speed I might get hurt, and even then he does not apply this knowledge, and he does not say slow, and finally he got an accident. So no one will say that he's an intelligent person, because he didn't apply his knowledge. So this is very much necessary, that we should be able to apply our knowledge. We should be able to acquire knowledge and also apply the knowledge. And then we are talking of artificial, that means we are trying to create this thing in some system, in some machine, in some computer, the same ability, although after a lot of research, we cannot claim that uh, the machine have got same level of intelligence as we have. But even then, a lot of research has been made in this area, and a lot of successful applications are available nowadays. So people have given many definitions for artificial intelligence. Some says that it is the study of ideas that enables computers to be intelligent. Some say that this is the ability of machines in conducting intelligent tasks. Some have defined it as a branch of computer science which is concerned with design of computer systems that exhibit human intelligence. So there are many definitions. You see this pictures, this quadrupter, this Mars rover, in fact, there are different something is about the action. So what we are doing in AI, we are interested in mimicking human thinking capability, human approach. We are going to solve a problem and human action. And then we are trying to develop machines like that. So what are the goals of AI? The goals of AI is to make computers more useful by dangerous or tedious tasks from human being, like going to Mars or working in a very high temperature areas where we cannot think that human being will be able to survive. So all those works can be done by the machines. And then we also trying to understand the principles of human intelligence, how people work, how human being solve the problem. So what are the main topics of AI? There are many topics of AI, but these are the major topics you can say. Searching and planning. If you think of AI, whenever we start talking about AI, we start from searching techniques, and like we do in game planning, that we are going for playing games. So you might have heard that there is min max algorithm, very famous algorithm, that the when we are two-player games, the say action of one player, the best action of one player is the worst for the other player, and the best action of the other player is the worst for the first player. So this way, you have to decide which is to be allowed, which is not to be allowed, and what is decision is to be taken. And second thing is knowledge representation, that how we to store information effectively, how to represent the knowledge, because human knowledge is say in is available in different forms, but computers cannot understand the human say language or human say uh, activities. So we need to store this information effectively and efficiently. So the knowledge representative is one of the other main area of artificial intelligence. Then reasoning, like to retrieve and answer questions using the stored information. Reasoning is one of the important area of AI. that logical reasoning is there. Whatever these things are there, some rules are to be defined, and according to the rules, the questions would be answered. And machine learning, deep learning, these are very famous nowadays. Everyone is talking of these things. So this is learning from the examples, learning from the experience, how to adapt to the new circumstances. And natural language processing for communication with human being, people have developed in this area. You might have heard large language models, chatbots, question answering systems, open AIs, uh, GPT, and chat GPT, and many others. So these all are the development in the area of natural language processing. And expert system, that we are going to develop knowledge based computer system which have the expertise like human to solve a problem. Then computer vision, where uh, we are trying to solve the problems, the identification, object recognition, just like the humans see. So vision, like our human vision, we are trying to develop this vision inside computers also. Then speech recognition, so what is being spoken, so the computer should be able to understand the spoken words. So the development in this area is also the main one of the main topic of the artificial intelligence. And then robotics, that some actions like using these computers, we are able to do something intelligently. We are making robots to do many works for surgery and other things. The robots are doing surgery. So the development in this area is also a main topic of artificial intelligence. So when we talk of AI, we discuss all these topics in detail. So I'll discuss something also about machine learning, because there's been a lot of applications of machine learning in healthcare. So what is machine learning? Machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence and computer science which has focused on the use of data and algorithms to imitate the way the humans learn. So, in short, we can say that machine learning is learning from experience, learning from examples. So, what is this machine learning? It is nothing but the learn the machine according to data. It is learning from examples, learning from data. Whatever the experience is there, the experience is hidden in form of data. So we extract this experience from the data and try to learn on the basis of that. So systems can learn from data, identify patterns, and make decisions just like we human do. We human also we learn from experience. If you talk of anything, first, for example, I was just talking about riding a bike or a scooter. So on the first day we are starting our riding a bike, we have to learn that. It's very difficult if you have not say learned it. You will not be able to say ride a bicycle, even a bicycle. So it is also to be learned. Sometimes we fell down, sometimes we again start, and then after a few days, okay, we start it okay efficiently, and then after some time, after a few months, we may become an expert rider. So we human also uh, learn from experience. Talk of a child starts learning from its early age, okay, from his childhood. It start learning from its environment. And if is talk of the language, if he is able to say listen, uh, he will be able to speak also. And in the same area, in the same whatever the local language is there, he will learn it. So this learning is from experience. Okay. So this with time, we learn with time, with experience. Similarly, the algorithm, machine learning algorithms also learn with time, with experience. And if you provide more examples, then the accuracy of the system, machine learning system will improve. and this does not even need any explicit programming for this. So if you talk about machine learning basically consists of three main components. One is representation, how we are representing the data. Data is to be in some standard form and language that a computer can handle. So we must represent our data in a suitable form, and on those suitable form of data we can apply the machine learning algorithms, and we can say whether this is evaluate this, whether the our accuracy is good, performance of the system is good or not, and then we optimize. That means we find the best model for the most effective and accurate output. So we are interested in the best. The all learning, if for a same problem can be solved by many algorithms, we will try to apply all those algorithms and then choose the one which one is the best. So if you talk of machine learning, there are very major types of machine learning: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, reinforcement learning. These are the, I should say, the major branches of machine learning. In supervised learning, we have the training data where the labels are known. Okay, there are two types of supervised learning. One is called classification, other is called regression. So if there is some values, continuous values, and we are going to predict those values according to the training data, we call it regression. And if there's some categories, some labels, then this problem is called classification. So in the supervised learning, for the training data we have both the uh, what is to be predicted. We already know that what is the predicted output, and then we learn the system, and then on the basis of that model, one is it is trained, then we use this for on some unseen data. So if you talk of supervised learning, uh, we divide it into two phases. One is called training phase, other is called test phase. So in training phase we train the system using the data provided, and at the training time we also provide the output, the desired output to the system, along with the whatever the other attributes are there. So along with other attributes we also provide the predicted uh, say desired output which is to be predicted. And then the systems learns and some model is developed, and the when this already trained, the trained model is used for prediction of some new data, the data which is not available in the training set. So for that we call test, and then we evaluate our performance of our system. So there are many algorithms for supervised learning classification. If you talk of classification, there are support vector machine, k nearest neighbor, decision tree, neural networks. There are many. And if you talk of regression, there are linear regression, polynomial regression. So lot of details are there. So but what is the main thing is that in supervised learning, it is learning is in place in the presence of a teacher, and in this case teacher is supervisor, and the supervisor is the labeled data, the data which is already labeled and is provided to the system, and the system learns with the what is the desired output, and according to that it learns, and then this can be tested. And then there is unsupervised learning, where the data is we don't know something about the data, there is no pattern provided, some labels or categories or some values are provided, and the system say analyzes the data, and according to this analysis the system learns. There are many categories of unsupervised learning also. One is called clustering, where we group the data into different subgroups, and according to some their identity, their similarity, some similar items are grouped together and dissimilar are grouped into different groups. Two different groups, if you say there are two clusters, so one cluster will have say some some data of some similar type, and other will have some other type. So there should be, it is said that when you are performing clustering, the inter-class similarity should be minimum and intra-class similarity should be high. That means whatever the data that is inside the cluster, they should be similar. And what are different two different cluster, they should be different. And beside this clustering, there are other dimensional reduction techniques. These are also example of unsupervised learning, where we have PCA, principal component analysis, ICA, independent component analysis, factor analysis. These all dimensional reduction techniques. These are also example of unsupervised learning. Then there is association rule mining, where we are trying to find the association between different data attributes. So these are all examples of unsupervised learning. Then there is semi-supervised learning. What is semi-supervised learning? Where we have using a mixture of classified and unclassified data to build problem-solving models. It's quite possible that in some application areas we have a very few labeled data, and a lot of data is unlabeled. It is not classified. So there are people have developed strategies that we can learn from the classified, and then we mix it, and then again we can apply those to group the unclassified, and then finally we can learn the rules for classification. So this is called semi supervised learning. Then there is reinforcement learning, which is learning with feedback. Okay, so there's some concept of awards, that for every say learning loop, there will be some reward. The actions are associated with rewards. And what is the agents? The algorithm aim is to find the, say, some sequence of actions which will having the maximum reward. So uh, the actions should be going in the desired order, so that we can have the maximum reward possible. And if it is going from away from the goal, so some punishment is also provided, some penalty is also given. So this is done in this area. So either reward is given or punishment is given. So there is total expected reward. So in reinforcement learning, we try to maximize this total expected reward. So these all are different types of machine learning. Now, what are advantages of artificial intelligence? So the use of artificial intelligence gives us more powerful and more useful computers. We have new and improved interfaces. We can solve new problems. We can handle information in a better way. It relieves us from information overload, and it converts information into knowledge. So what is meaning of knowledge and information? So information is stored, then it is becomes, and we are able to use it, becomes knowledge. So these all are different advantages of artificial intelligence. And what are disadvantages? One is the increased cost, and it is the difficulty with software development. It will have slow and expensive, and we need some more experienced programmers will develop those AI systems. So if you talk of what are different AI systems that already being used successfully, is in the area of speech synthesis, recognition, and understanding. A lot of applications you may have seen in the area of speech recognition. Okay. But unconstrained speech understanding is still too hard problem. Similarly, there are a lot of application in the area of computer vision. Systems can AI systems can identify the patterns, the visual patterns. For example, handwritten zip code or handwritten some text, okay, or even some images, some object inside a image. All this possible, but understand the real world natural scene is still too hard. A lot of research is being made, and a lot of say, I should say, development has been done, but there is some scope. If you talk of learning, so they are adaptive systems are used in many applications, but they have their own limits. Planning and reasoning, it only works for some constraint problem like chess, any like other people have developed. And but for real world, it's too complex for general system. You want to develop some general system, difficult. Machine translation is one area where AI has been applied successfully. And overall, there are many components of intelligence which are doable. So, if you talk of AI systems in our everyday life, we have assistants like Alexa from Amazon, Watson from IBM, Siri from Apple, and Cortana from Microsoft. So these all are available on our mobile phones, and these all are examples of AI assistant. And if you talk of post office, in some post office, for automatic address recognition and sorting of mail, AI is being used in banks also, in telephone companies and credit card companies, computer companies. So many areas people are using these AI systems. So AI applications is now, if you talk, someone talks of AI applications, it is in
हाँ
every
ठीक
area.
है आप
Autonomous planning,
अभी कितने टाइम में आओगे?
planning and spacecraft, about a spacecraft, in gaming like chess,
हाँ ठीक
go,
है, लैब में ना
steering a
वो स्टूडेंट होंगे, ठीक है,
driverless
उनसे
car,
करवा लेना, ठीक
understanding
ठीक
languages,
है.
robotic assistant in surgery, and monitoring trade in the stock market. So all these are different application areas of AI. And if you talk of the application areas, marketing, banking, finance, agriculture, healthcare, gaming, space exploration, autonomous vehicle, chatbots, artificial creativity. So if you see any area, if talk everywhere, we are trying to apply. Okay, every year area we are trying to apply AI. So now this FDP is about the healthcare. So now we'll discuss the application of AI in healthcare. What are different application of AI in healthcare? We'll discuss. So although AI is applicable in many different areas, and it is helping the humankind by increasing automation, increasing productivity, smart decision making, solving complex problems, personalization. Okay. So if you talk of AI in healthcare, so the market size of AI in healthcare and from trends from 2025 to 2034, that is about next 10 years. So the market size of AI is calculated at US dollar 36.96 billion dollar in the year 2025. 36.96 billion US dollar, and it is forecasted that it will reach to 613.81 billion by 2034. So that is accelerating at a CAGR of 36.83% from 2025 to 2030. So you can see how much opportunity is there in this area of healthcare, AI in healthcare. 36.86% during the forecast period. So these all are from the President's Research, which is a marketing company which predicts this forecast or revenue based. So if you talk of applications of AI in healthcare, there are many applications of AI in healthcare. We'll discuss some major applications and few examples. So one thing is personalized treatment. One of the major application of AI in healthcare is personalized treatment. That means using AI, we can provide the personalized treatment to the people. It is said that in the year 2012 to 2017, the electronic health record rose from 40% to 67%. And by compiling this personal medical data of individual patients with machine learning applications and algorithm, the healthcare providers can detect and assess health issues better. So using this data, EHR, we could call in short electronic health record, we can provide better health services. So this health data can be fed into cloud, and machine learning application can allow these providers to predict any potential threats that might compromise the health of the patients. So this is beneficial for personalized treatment. For example, say there is a problem of arthritis. Okay, so what some for some this same problem, precision medicine, we are going for personalized treatment, we are going to develop some precision medicine. So some drugs are given to cure the medicine, cure the disease. So what people do, will apply markers that predict the treatment response. Some treatment is done using some drugs. So, and whether the drug is, say, effective on that specific person or not. So, some is just see this figure. In this figure, it says that some lower dose is given, some normal dose is given, some higher dose is given, and respond to alternative medication. So for the same medicine, if you are going for to check for the treatment precision medicine its effect, so we are providing different doses, and then check what is its effect on the patient. Okay, on and what is the effect of the health of the patient if you provide some alternate medicine. So using this we can identify that whether this drug is effective to cure this disease to this person or not. So it accordingly we can
यहाँ पे
say
जगह ही नहीं है, फिर कैसे?
which is to be given. Okay, so this is an example research paper by Dimitris, which worked on the personalized treatment for coronary artery disease using machine learning, where the authors developed a binary classifier to detect whether patient will experience an adverse event due to coronary artery disease within a 10-year time frame. So what they did, they combined the patient's medical history and clinical examinations, and the accuracy achieved was 81.5%. So by using the electronic health record of 21,460 patients, the authors were able to create data-driven models for the personalized coronary artery disease management that significantly improved health outcomes relative to the standard of care. So some of the major highlight of this work was a new methodology was developed to treat right-censored patient, and the approach used was KNN, K nearest neighbor approach, one of the machine learning algorithm to estimate the true survival time from real-world data, and interpretable and accurate binary classification and regression models were used that predict the risk and timing of a potential adverse event for these CAD patients. And they selected a diverse set of well-established supervised machine learning algorithms for this task. And they proposed an algorithm called ML for CAD, machine learning for coronary artery disease, which combine multiple state-of-the-art machine learning regression models with clinical expertise. And
तुमको
in
बोलना
particular,
पड़ेगा ना, नहीं कीजिए
it used a voting scheme to suggest
वेट कर देना
personalized
कीजिए
treatments
कहाँ
based
गई
on individual data. So what happened accordingly, this in this work, they were able to develop an online application, and which has also made where physicians could test the performance of the algorithm in the real time and bridging the gap with the clinical practice. So machine learning was used to create the this prediction for uh, CAD, personalized treatment for CAD.
आएंगे तो इधर आ जाएंगे मुझे लगता है सीधे आएंगे तो नजर इधर
This was just an example of their online application where they provide the machine learning method with the demographic information of the patients, their medical information, their treatment information, and then they predicted CADC. And what about their say survival time? This all was this predicted. So this is just an example of personalized treatment for CAD patient using machine learning. Then another application of AI in healthcare is drug discovery and manufacturing. So if you use AI in drug discovery, this makes the drug discovery process faster. If you don't use any AI technique, generally it takes about 10 to 15 years, including the clinical trials for drug discovery, and also very costly affair.
क्या ही करेंगे सर यहाँ
It
पे
normally costs
सर
almost $1
घर
billion
पे हवा नहीं मतलब क्या दिया उधर पर
per new
सही
drug.
से नहीं
Per new drug, it costs almost $1 billion. So, but if we use this AI, it may become, say, if you take the time that was taking 10 to 15 years, it was reduced, and also the cost is also reduced. So people have used this AI in designing the chemical or protein structure of drugs, target validation,
ज्वाइन ही नहीं करना
investigation
चाह
of
रहा
drug safety, and managing clinical trials. For example, AI company Atomwise platform
मैं ज्वाइन कर दिया
uses
मैं
deep
उसने
learning
खाने के
software to sift through
स्टार्टिंग में
millions
बोला
of
था क्या
possible
कर रहे
molecules in a day or two. So the work that was done in many
मेरे को तो मेरी
years
फ्रेंड क्या बोलती थी
was
ना सर
done in
दूसरे
very
दिन
less
सॉल्यूशन
period. And the software also analyzes simulation that show how the potential medicine will behave in the human body. So without going for the human trials, simulation could help to see the effectiveness of the drug. And it was also able to identify possible medicine for multiple sclerosis and the deadly Ebola virus. And DeepMind, which is an AI arm of Google's parent Alphabet Inclusive, is also making huge process in this field of drug discovery and manufacturing. So this is one area, um, investigation of machine intelligence in compound selectivity classification. So people have done many work in the area of satisfactorily in the drug discovery, and in this study, the machine intelligence methods were used to assess the cell activity prediction. And their main use multiple machine learning algorithms like support vector machine, decision tree, random forest, extra trees, gradient boosting machine,
यार वो तो
convolutional neural
मुझे
network,
अकेले है
LSTM, long short memory network, and getter neural. So they use some
अरे
machine learning
शेड्यूल
techniques and
चेंज हो गया ना
some
वरना
of
मैं
the
प्रिंट आउट
deep
नहीं
learning
निकाला
techniques,
उसका मैंने
and then they choose for their separate compound based on their
मैं लिख लेती
cell
हूँ
activity. And the result shows that the gradient boosting machine was competent at balanced distribution, and convolutional network was also qualified for imbalanced one. So the result of this work demonstrated that the both classical machine learning algorithms and deep learning algorithms have the potential in the classification of compound cell activity. So another application area of AI is in healthcare is pattern imaging analytics. Like they say cancers, uh, say images, MRI images, CT scan images, or even for lung cancer, X-ray images. So this, uh, say all these imaging techniques, if you use AI, so this will aid the radiologist to identify the changes in scans and therefore help them detect and diagnose the health issues at the early stage. Early detection is very important because we know in such of cancer is such a disease that if it is not detected at early stage, it becomes, we can say, life threatening, and it is very some it moves to stage 3 or stage 4, then doctors say that there is no hope that you can be cured. So it is very important that it is detected in the early stage. If it is detected in the early stage, it is very much say useful. So people have made effort in this area, and then they have tried develop techniques so that we can understand from the images. Okay. For example, Indiana University Presidency researchers made a significant breakthrough when they developed machine learning algorithm to predict the relapse rate for myelogenous leukemia with 90% accuracy. A type of cancer, this cancer, uh, this they could select, they could detect it with the 90% accuracy that whether it will reoccur, recurrence will be done after say a few days or few months again, or the people could not, the person could not survive. So this was done with the 90% accuracy. So by imaging techniques, AI applying AI uh, for this imaging and early detection of the, say, cancerous cell, it could help to save the lives. So there's one other work on the comprehensive analysis of lung cancer pathology images to discover tumor shape and boundary features that predict the survival outcome. It was in the scientific reports, and what they have done, they developed an automated tumor region recognition system for lung cancer pathology images. And this lung cancer pathology images, they capture the tumor histomorphological details in high resolution, and the manual detection of this tumor regions in pathology images is very tedious job. It is labor intensive and subjective. So by using the AI techniques like deep convolution neural network from the identified tumor regions, the authors could extract 22 well-defined shape and boundary features. And they found that 15 of these extracted features were significantly associated with patient survival outcome in lung adenocarcinoma patients from the National Lung Screening Trial. And they predicted high risk group had significantly worse survival than the low risk group. So they thus, because if we are talking of cancer patients, they are high risk group and low risk group. So if their high risk groups are there, they have very less chance of survival. And the study provides new insights in the relation between tumor shape and patient prognosis. What will happen after some time, whether the patient will die or the tumor will, again after treatment, tumor will reoccur. So reoccurrence is there, recurrence of tumor is there, or it will also, say, expand to other regions of the body. So the tumor cells will affect some other cells of the body. So this provided some good insight into this. So for tumor region detection, the pathology images were divided into 300 by 300 pixel image patches, which were then classified in tumor, non-malignant, or white categories using a CNN model. So the CNN, there is a deep learning neural network technique, was used in this work, and it was trained on 384 image patches and was tested on 1068 patches with 89.8% accuracy in the testing set. Now, another application area of the AI is in identifying diseases and diagnosing diseases. Many work has been done in this area for AI applications in disease diagnosis. For example, the UK-based technology startup Fibris uses artificial intelligence algorithm for precise detection of complex respiratory conditions. It connects to existing medical sensors and can also be used by non-doctor users to identify respiratory issues early, avoiding complication and hospitalization. As discussed, that early detection is very important when we are talking of any disease. And also in the case of like life-threatening diseases like cancer, it's very important. So the detection of disease at an early stage using AI techniques can be helpful for the mankind, and it can save a lot of life. For example, MIT's Computer Science and AI Lab developed a new deep learning based prediction model that could forecast the development of breast cancer up to 5 years in advance. So think of this, that this was early detected is about 5 years early. So, so the condition of the patient that would have worsened in next 5 years, it can be saved, and that will save the life of many patients. So, in their model, this MIT's people model, it was 10 mammograms and patient follow-up data to identify patterns that would not be obvious or even observable by human clinicians. So the thing that is cannot be done generally was able to be done by using the AI techniques, and it is useful. One other important work is the use of VGG19 architecture, which is for pneumonia detection in chest X-rays. So in this work, they implemented deep learning scheme to diagnose and classify chest radiographs into normal or pneumonia, that whether the person is suffering from pneumonia or is the normal. And what they did, they used clinical grade chest radiographs and grayscale images of various dimension. And for training, they use 5,500 images, in which there were normal images were 1,500 and pneumonia was 4,000. This was used and for training, and for testing they used 1,650 images, where normal was 450 and pneumonia was 1,200. And then author proposed a customized VGG90 architecture, where two modifications were made in the original architecture of VGG19. VGG19 is one of the famous uh, deep learning architecture for images, and this could be used by some modification by the authors in feature extraction techniques and in the classifier. And this proposed architecture also concatenated the handcrafted features and deep features which were used from transfer learning approach by this VGG19 architectures, and by using the serial concatenation with principal component analysis. And what they found that their technique could outperform other architecture, VGG16, ResNet 15, LX, and all these are say famous architectures for image identification, image object recognitions. And the VGG19 with ensemble feature improved the diagnosis accuracy and give superior sorting accuracy of 97.94% with random forest as the classifier. So this disease detection is an important area where AI has helped. Another application of AI is in the robotic surgery, that doctors can successfully operate even in the most complicated situation and with precision. Okay. That the Da Vinci robot was designed to facilitate complex surgery using a minimally invasive approach, reduce the length of surgeries and subsequently hospital stays. So the robotics is used in surgery for uh, and is also used for hair transplantation, dental implant procedure, because it involves fine detailing and delineation. There are many other robotic tools which are being used, like stereotaxis in cardiac catheterization, Medtronics in spine and neurology, and their accuracy in cancerous tumor eradication, Steiger's Moco in orthopedic hip and knee replacement. So, in many medical complications, robotic surgeons are used. So, this is an example work where the machine learning was used for prediction case duration for robotic assisted surgery, where the authors sought to use machine learning to develop an accurate predictive model for robotic surgery. Robotic assisted surgery requires a large capital investment by healthcare organizations, and the cost of robotic imaging is fixed. So institutions must maximize use of each unit by utilizing all available operating room block time. So one way to increase utilization is to accurately predict case duration, how much time it will take uh, to perform some operation or surgery using the robot. So what they did, they analyzed a random sample of robotic cases of at the institution from January 2014 to June 2017, and then compared the machine learned models to the baseline model, which is scheduled case duration. So which is defined by previous case duration and surgeon adjustments. So they use many machine learning algorithms, multivariate linear regression, ridge regression, lasso regression, random forest algorithm, boosted regression tree, neural networks. And all these six machine learning models, they tested an average root mean squared error, and it would find that it was lower than the baseline model. Only the random forest and BRT, the boosted regression trees, improved the average RMSE, and the boosted regression tree performed the best. And their study demonstrated that predictive modeling using machine learning is more accurate than current method to predict case duration. And that implementation of machine learning algorithm can lead to an increase in the number of accurately booked case durations. Another application of AI in healthcare is predicting epidemic outbreaks. Just like we have something epidemic, pandemic, corona. So at that time, you know what is the outbreak, the people could use this machine learning techniques, AI techniques can be used, because by collecting data from satellites, real-time updates on social media, other vital information from the web, the tools can predict epidemic outbreaks. There's one web-based program called ProMedMail, which allows the health organization to monitor diseases and predict disease outbreaks in real time. And using automated classification and visualization, Health Map actually relies on ProMed to track and alert countries about the possible epidemic outbreak. And artificial neural networks have helped predict the outbreak of malaria by considering factors such as temperature, average monthly rainfall, etc. So the machine learning techniques have been used effectively for predicting epidemic outbreaks. One example work is the predicting the epidemic curve of coronavirus. By the robot, the their work was done um, for COVID-19, and their objective was to use the official epidemiological data to forecast epidemic curves. What is the daily new cases of COVID-19, and using RNN, the recurrent neural networks, and then to compare and validate the predicted models with the observed data. So they use publicly available datasets from the World Health Organizations and Johns Hopkins University to create a training dataset. And then they employed recurrent neural networks with gated current units, that is LSTM, to create two prediction models. And their proposed approach considered ensemble-based system, which relies by interconnecting several neural networks. Their model could provide country-specific prediction by transfer learning, and with extra feature injection from government constant, better prediction in the longer term. So they calculated many, say, parameters for model predictions: root mean squared error, root mean squared logarithmic error, mean absolute percentage error. And they reported the predicted curves for many countries like France, Germany, Hungary, Italy, Spain, United Kingdom, and US. And the model has shown satisfactory accuracy in predicting the new cases of COVID-19. So we can see how people are used the AI for predicting the outbreak of epidemic. Now, another application areas of AI in healthcare is clinical trial research. By applying smart predictive analytics to candidates of clinical trials, medical professional could access a more comprehensive data. And the machine learning based predictive analytics bring down the time and money investment in clinical trials and also deliver accurate results. So it has many advantages, like identify potential clinical trial candidates, assess their medical history records, monitor the candidates throughout the trial process, select best testing samples, and reduce database error. So the use of AI in health in clinical trial research has many advantages. Another application area of AI in healthcare is crowdsourced data collection. Based on the pool of live health data like mobile apps and healthcare platforms, doctors and healthcare providers deliver
Okay.
speedy and necessary treatment
Okay. मेरे नाम से मैं
Patients
login-
are interested in fulfilling formal paperwork. IBM
ये
collaborated with to collect and interpret diabetes and insulin data in real time based on crowdsourced data.
हाँ आ गया मैं इसमें चेक कर लो
Diabetes is such a disease.
जब अगर पावर खत्म हो रहा है आप उधर जाके चार्ज भी कर सकते हो जब power चलेगा
In India also it is very much we are having problems with diabetes. Many persons, if it takes a 4%, maybe one of them is diabetic. So people have applied by this AI using the say crowdsourced data collection, and Apple's research kit grant user access to interactive apps that use machine learning based face recognition to treat other diseases like Asperger's and Parkinson's disease. Now, another area of application of AI in healthcare is maintaining healthcare records. Using these machine learning technologies, we could solve the issue of regularly updating and maintaining health records by reducing the time, effort, and money input in the record keeping process. Document classification like vector machines and machine learning based OCR techniques like Google's Cloud Vision API help sort and classify healthcare data. Smart health records help in connecting doctors, healthcare practitioners, and patients to improve research, care delivery, and public health. So we can see that lot of uh, advantages of using this AI in maintaining the healthcare records are there. If you talk of the healthcare industry, there are many generations of healthcare industry, and it has evolved uh, from hard copy or paper based to blockchain based health information system. This is dedicated to blockchain and AI in healthcare. So you can see that how this AI and blockchain is helpful in the development of the health industry. In the first generation was just hard copy or paper based for recording purposes. It was using it, and the benefit was it was simple to use, but it was non-portable. The log was hard to maintain. It was tedious from a chemist's perspective, and it was costly and time consuming. In the second generation, people have tried the electronic health record. So it was digital, and it supported portability and accessibility to some extent, and it was less time consuming as compared to the previous system, the paper based system. But the problem with this, even the EHR, just EHR based approach, was it cannot reconcile real time data quickly. The patient would not get precise treatment always, and availability, accessibility, interoperability, security, and privacy were the issues. In the third generation, people have developed cloud-based health information system, which supported portability and accessibility. Everything is on the cloud, and whenever it is required from anywhere in the world, it could be accessed. You maybe, of course, with some username and password. So if you have access is allowed, you can access it with any part of the world, and you can go through the health records, and it can reconcile real-time data quickly. But again, the cons was privacy. Privacy is also always issue is always there. Interoperability, security, and integrity. In the fourth generation, when we are using blockchain-based health information system, so it supports privacy, security, and integrity. So this blockchain-based approach is helpful in for giving the privacy and security and integrity. But interoperability is even an issue, and it's complex to implement. Now, another application area of AI in healthcare is clinical decision support system. That AI system can be used by doctors to take decision. It may be used as a decision support system. Doctors can use the AI decisions to enhance clinical decisions. Whatever the available medical knowledge, whatever the patient's history, and their use of AI techniques this CDSS can improve the clinical decisions. So this clinical decision support system consists of software that matches the computerized medical knowledge with the individual's patient's detail and which directly helps in the decision making process. And this is implemented through computers, smartphones, tablets, biometric wearable devices to collect patient data, which are stored as electronic health records. And the data collected from wearable devices are complicated, and we need this CDSS, which can integrate patient data from heterogeneous sources, such as hereditary information of patients, laboratory test results, and current health information. So all things is available on this system. And this CDSS can help the physicians, the doctors, to recommend identification of a list of disease or to diagnose a particular disease which may lead to other diseases. So this may help in the decision of doctor, and the doctors can improve their decision using the support by this system. So there are two categories of CDSS. One is knowledge based, other is non-knowledge based. In knowledge base, rules are formed in the knowledge base system, which retrieve data to execute the rule, and based on the rule, an action or output is generated, and based on patients' practice or literature, rules are framed. So according to this knowledge, what available knowledge, decision is, it will change. If knowledge is different, decision will be different. And the other category of CDS is non-knowledge based. So instead of following the experts' medical knowledge, these non-knowledge based systems use machine learning to take decisions. So characterized of CDSs are organized steps to produce new data, which help the decision making, feedback loop, and chronological repetitions, merging data, using cognitive skills and knowledge information process to take decision, and data reuse. So a lot of things are there. So this is an architecture of clinical decision support system, smart cities architecture. So you can see here that we have electronic health record, which is coming from the patients. So cloud, some events are there, and its data is collecting, and then through using AI ML, the training of this, using this AI ML techniques, and using the record, the model is trained, and accordingly, the model will say predict something, and this prediction is used to the by the communication assistance, and then whatever response we are saying and whatever the action signals are there. Okay, so this finally that then this decision will help the doctor to take the decision. So smart CDSS is used to diagnose disease, and it also helps doctors to carry out an effective follow-up. The diagnosis and health issue detection can be interlinked with mobile device, wearable device, smartwatch, making use of edge computing devices, a local computing environment, or home or hospital server. The medical Internet of Things analysis and mining can better detect potential health problems and allow storage remotely or on the cloud. And from the collection of the data, the data that is collected from individual mobile and wearable devices, the cloud computing component, machine learning models provide efficiency and minimal latency in the discovery of dangerous medical conditions that require rapid action. So the CDSS provide health systems suitable for an individual's welfare, where the person concerned can be provided with treatment customized to the requirement. So it will be provide personalized treatment according to their need. If there's some danger, some severe disease, and that require rapid action, it will be given suggestion to do that. And the system would be able to collect and analyze huge volumes of continuous and heterogeneous health record from smart health devices, which is used on the mobile medical Internet of Things. And the data analysis results and predictive signals are given as input to patient smart devices, doctors, healthcare specialists, and medical organizations through customized visual analytics and dashboard applications, so that the doctors can take decisions and the patients can follow that, and the healthcare specialist can know that what is the best treatment for this disease. So this is an application of AI in healthcare. Now, what are the challenges of applying AI in healthcare? We have seen many major applications of AI in healthcare. But if we are going to develop systems applying AI for healthcare, there are many challenges also. One of the key challenges when we are going to apply AI to healthcare is find appropriate data sets to analyze the problem. In healthcare sector, it is very difficult to have proper data. People have made a lot of study. The people have tried to collect data from different sources, but as I told you, this varies from hospital to hospital, region to region, country to country. Whatever the say data, health data, which can be used by AI to learn and take decision. So this data is not very, it is not an easy to collect data. Another thing is to find scientists which is knowledgeable both in machine learning techniques and the healthcare sector. So it is, if we want to apply AI in healthcare, it is a type of, I should say, collaboration, and it, because it is interdisciplinary in nature. Doctors which are expert in their field, maybe a dietitian, maybe a heart specialist, maybe a cancer specialist, they are say specialists in their area, but generally they will not have the knowledge of AI techniques. They might have some knowledge, but not an can be expert of this. Similarly, the AI experts, the machine learning experts, they will not have knowledge of medical or health sector. So if they work separately, they cannot get something useful. So if there is some collaboration, they can work together and they can try to solve problems. Some consortium like thing to fight some disease where where there's experts from different fields. For example, like cancer. Cancer is a disease which is affecting the humanity, and in the in the world, in many areas, people are having problem with this. So if you treat cancer, we need radiologists, we need radiotherapy people, we need pathology experts, we need some expert from molecular biology, we need some expert from endocrinology, and we need also some expert from AI. So if all they are working together, if all they are working together, if they all they are working together, they can solve this problem effectively. Another problem is the medical data volumes are used and collected from medical imaging archival systems, electronic health records, pathology systems, insurance databases, and electronic prescribing tools, which are very difficult to bring together. Integrating this data to a common factors creates another challenge. How to say integrate all this? There also some diseases, there are also effect of genes, genetic records. So multiomics data. So electronic health records, pathological data, imaging data, genomic data. So all these data, how to integrate this? So the use of all this data for solving a problem from the health sector requires many, say, insight, and we may, it is a difficult task, and we may have to apply differently to different types of data. There's one area called multimodal data analytics, that we are trying to apply data from different mode, and we are trying to integrate this to solve the problem. In healthcare, answering causal questions cause a number of challenges in designing models from observational data. How this, why this, how this is happening. So this is also posing a challenge. Moreover, missing data is very important thing. Missing data in clinical data, sometimes vital clinical variables, sometimes data is missing. So if we are going to design machine learning models with missing data, it's a great challenge. How to deal with the missing data? This data is important, but it is missing from the examples that we have collected. So how to handle this? Although there are some techniques to handle missing data, but is this effective? Would it not affect our decision, our output? So this is another challenge. And another challenge is teaching the physicians how to understand the applicability of the machine learning output for patient care. Yes. Motivating the physicians that AI and machine learning can be useful and they can support their decision. This is also a great challenge. Another challenge is if we are relying on machine learning models. So as we discussed, machine learning models learn from data, learn from examples. So if we have learned from some data sets and we are going to apply this to some another data set. So in the medical field, it is not applicable. It's very difficult to say that we will learn from this domain and apply to this domain. Just we do in transfer learning, we say like this, that okay, we learn from this domain and apply it to this domain. But this is not we can do directly like in the medical case. In healthcare sector, it is not an easy job, and it is also difficult to compare the performance of one machine learning model with that of others, as the methodologies are dissimilar and applied to different populations with special sample distribution and features. So we cannot compare the performance of one machine model with the other model. So if we have different machine learning models, we cannot say that okay, this will be applicable for many others. No, it's not. For the same disease, if you say same disease from different geographical locations, will have different issues. Different races will have different problems. So it is a very difficult task in healthcare. Another thing is that machine learning model which are built to analyze particular problem cannot be used to derive generalized solution because of technical differences in computer equipments, electronic health record systems, coding definitions, laboratory equipment, along with local and medical and organizational practices. Another challenge is that the machine learning models must be secure from malicious attacks. Because if due to the malicious attack, the data set is manipulated and the same manipulated data set is used for learning purpose, So our learning will not be correct. And the incorrect use of incorrect results may have dangerous misinterpretations. So it is very important to save our models from malicious attack. Now, another challenges is about algorithmic biases and fairness. If you talk of AI bears a risk of for biases and thus discrimination. This is very important. If you're talking of AI systems have their biases. When we are, say, going for applying this AI for any example, any health sector, any problem, okay, we must consider the risk for biases. For example, which machine learning algorithms and procedure we are going to use to train the algorithms, and what data sets we are going to use for programming. So data set may have their quality, they have diversity, that is very important of health care data sets. And if you talk of machine learning algorithms, every algorithm has its own bias. So we must consider those biases. Because if you don't do this, in the health sector especially, where phenotype and sometimes genotype, phenotypes means the physical of, or say, attributes, and genotypes means genetic attributes. So the phenotypes and genotypes related information are involved. So the biased AI can lead to false diagnosis and render treatments ineffective for some subpopulation and thus jeopardize their safety. So although we are using AI for benefit, it may cause some problem. So we have to take care of this when we are going to apply AI for healthcare. For example, imagine an AI-based clinical decision support system that help clinicians to find the best treatment for patients with skin cancer. Now, suppose the algorithm that we are using for this purpose, treatment of patients with skin cancer, was trained data from Caucasian patients. Now, what will happen? It is likely that this AI software, which was trained especially for Caucasian patients, will give less accurate and even inaccurate recommendation for subpopulation for which the trained data was under inclusive, such as African American. So if we are going to apply this, it is likely that we might get inaccurate recommendation. Another example, diabetes. In diabetes, we are training, say, data for diabetes, and suppose there are the food habits in our data set. Now the food habit, because that will diabetes, we say this is some uh, style, what we have, lifestyle, how we are leading, how we are eating, this all affect our, say, situation, and we can, it may lead to diabetes. So the food habits vary from place to place, country to country, region to region. Even in our own country, the North Indian foods, South Indian foods, they vary. And if you talk of another countries, they have different eating qualities, eating habits. So what will happen? if we are training our data, if you are training our model with data from only one region, and then we are going to apply the results of this model to some other region with different food habits, and then we are recommending, so this will not be effective and it might be inaccurate. So in the case of black box algorithms, in many like neural networks, they solve black box. What is what how it is happening? We say it is happening. We are getting some good results, but why it is happening, how it is happening, is people are unable to understand. So the many scholars have argued that explanatory is necessary. So that means they're talking of explainable AI. Okay. So especially when we are going for health recommendation, AI is going to make health recommendation. Explainable AI is necessary so that we can detect the biases. This is very important. Another ethical challenge is informed consent to use. Patients are not aware of the complexities of AI, and we are using their data for learning our models. So it is not ethical to use someone's data without their consent. So patients must be asked to fill some consent forms, and the clinicians have a responsibility to educate the patients about the complexities of the AI. What are the different complex AI? They must be told. So informed consent to use is one of the ethical consideration. Another is safety and transparency. The data sets which are used for developing the models, they need to be reliable and valid, because we know that better the trained data, the better the AI will perform. The AI learning is dependent on data, quality of data. If data is better, learning would be good, and accordingly, decision would be good. If data is not of quality, then of course we cannot hope that we'll have a better learning, and we will not have think of better output. So in the service of safety and patient's confidence, some amount of transparency must be ensured. AI developers should be sufficiently transparent. For example, they should tell about the kind of data used and any shortcoming of the software, that is biases. So this is another ethical consideration. We should learn our lesson from examples such as Watson for oncology, where IBM kept Watson's unsafe and incorrect treatment recommendations secret for over a year, giving unsafe and incorrect recommendation for cancer treatments. What was the cause of this? Why it was unsafe? Why it was incorrect recommendation? Because instead of using real patient data, the software was only trained with a few synthetic cancer cases, which were devised by doctors at the Memorial Sloan Kettering Center Cancer Center. As I told you, that in the field of healthcare, for some diseases, it is very difficult to get sufficient amount of data. And for AI models, we need a lot of data. So another way to handle this is to generate data, synthetic data. use synthetic data. So that what Watson did, they used synthetic cases. But what happened? The problem was there. Another issue is data privacy. Many persons, they don't want that their privacy should be praised. Data privacy should be ensured whenever we are using medical data. An example, in July 2017, the UK Information Commission Office ruled that the Royal Free NHS Foundation Trust was in breach of the UK Data Protection Act 1998 when it provided personal data of 1.6 million patients to Google DeepMind. And the data sharing happened for the clinical safety testing of streams, an app that aims to help with the diagnosis and detection of acute kidney injury. However, patients were not properly informed about the processing of their data as part of the test. So patients were not informed and their data was used. So it was intrusion of privacy. So it is fundamentally important to adequately inform patients about processing of their data and foster an open dialogue to promote trust. The value of health data can reach up to billions of dollars. And some evidence suggests that the public is uncomfortable with companies or the government selling patient data for profit. So matter was there in House of Lords of UK, but there may be always for patients to feel valued that do not involve ownership. Another challenge is we have discussed a lot of ethical consideration and challenges of using AI in healthcare. Now we are going to discuss some advantages. Improving the diagnostic process. That use of AI in healthcare helps in improving the diagnostic process. For example, Google has been researching the breast cancer diagnostic process, and they have improved the accuracy diagnosis by 16% over a human expert. This is very, uh, some achievement that they have improved the accuracy over human expert. So this is incredibly important, especially when early detection and treatment leads to the best possible outcomes. And for cancer, this is like cancer, which can be life-threatening. Okay, so this type of work Stanford's University AI lab working on developing algorithm for diagnosing skin cancer. And by creating a database, they found that the AI can do just as well as physician doing diagnosis. Although skin cancers have a higher survival rate, but this drops when it is not diagnosed in the early stages. So by using AI, the detection can be done at an early stage and it can save a life. So the AI lab hopes to meet that winning technology to smartphones so that people can use this. Then another advantage is preventing and quickly treating infections like COVID-19. So uh, if we can catch this dangerous infection like COVID-19 early, we can lower the mortality and morbidity rates associated with them. And the organization like Health Catalyst, they are working to use AI to reduce hospital-acquired infections. Hospital-acquired infections. Okay. So some organizations in like Health Catalyst, Utah, and Massachusetts General Hospital, Boston, are focused on monitoring patients most at risk for hospital-acquired infections. Others working toward developing algorithms around provider behavior such as hand washing routines. So the use of AI can prevent and quickly treat infections. Another advantage of using AI is crowdsourcing research. Crowdsourcing Metadata is not a new idea. It is growing through with the help of machine learning. From sites like Patient Like Me, 23andMe to Apple, companies are working to better understand medical issues through crowdsourcing. Having a larger, more varied database can help research be more accurate. Additionally, these research methods become more accessible to people from marginalized communities that may not otherwise be able to take part. So, participating in research helps patients feel more empowered while giving important feedback. So, this is another advantage of use of AI. Now, another advantage in medications. From anesthesia to treatment for breast cancer to daily medications, machine learning is being employed in improvement of medications. The famed IBM computer Watson is working with companies like Pfizer to improve drug discovery, particularly for immunological condition and cancer. Google has been in the game for a few years and has found impressive potential for machine learning to guide improve ideas around treatments. Companies like Medtronics are utilizing machine learning to improve medications, but more on an individual scale. Channelizing ideas about precision medicine. They are working with patients to provide personalized feedback and how to better control and treat the diabetes. And personalized machine will be key to treat patient in the future. So these all advantages of use of AI in healthcare, medications. Now also improving patient's care, improving diagnosis, especially in high-tech situations, will improve patients' outcomes and satisfaction. Patients participating in research will feel more empowered, improving their outcomes and adherence to provider directions. Now there are some also limitations of use of AI in healthcare. It needs human surveillance. Although AI has come a long way in the medical world, human surveillance is still essential. For example, surgical robots operate logically as opposed to empathetically. So health practitioners may notice vital behavioral observation that can help diagnose or prevent medical complications. AI requires human input and review to be leveraged effectively. As AI develops, the technology and medical fields are increasing communicating. To improve the technology, years of education are required for medical professionals to operate in their fields. And essential information gathered from subject matter experts enriches the data available and improves explainable AI to provide healthcare workers with trusted and valuable insights. Another limitation of AI is possibility of high error. In machine learning, we can choose the algorithm based on accurate results. For that, we have to run the results on every algorithm. The main problem occurs in the training and testing of data. If the data is huge, so sometimes remove errors become nearly impossible. And these errors can cause a headache to users. Since the error data is huge, the errors take a lot of time to resolve. So this is another limitation of AI in healthcare. And another limitation is algorithm selection. Which machine learning algorithm should be used for the given problem, for the given disease, diagnosis? So selection of the algorithm of machine learning is a manual job. We have to run and test our data in all the algorithm or all whatever possible algorithms we can think. And after that only, we can decide what algorithm we want to use. and we choose this on the basis of the accuracy, the performance. The process is very much time consuming. So this is one of the limitation of AI in healthcare. And data acquisition in machine learning, we constantly work on data. We take a huge amount of data for training and testing. This process can sometimes cause data inconsistency. The reason is some data consistently keep on updating. So we have to wait for new data to arrive. If not, the node and new data might have give different results. So this is not a good sign for an algorithm. So this is another problem when we are going to use AI for in healthcare. Also, the limitation is about time and space. Many machine learning algorithms might take more time. For example, the deep learning algorithms, they take too much time for training. And if it is the best algorithm, it might sometimes surprise you. If the data is large and advanced, the system will take time. And this may sometimes cause the consumption of more CPU power, even with GPU, graphical processing units alongside it sometimes becomes hectic, and the data might use more than allotted space. So people have now thinking of green computing that save power. We are using a lot of deep learning and we are using power. So we should use less power. So this is all about the talk on this AI in healthcare, challenge, opportunity, challenges, and ethical consideration. First, we discuss about briefly about artificial intelligence. Then we discuss different applications of AI in healthcare. Then we discuss the challenges and ethical consideration of uses of AI in healthcare. And then we discuss advantages and limitations of use of AI in healthcare. These are some of the references. So,
Yeah. So
any
thank you.
questions, please?
Yes, is there any to all participants? Is there any doubt or queries for this session? Yes, sir. There is one doubt from Chandni. How can we use these AI tools in different backgrounds also?
What is the meaning of backgrounds? Can it be audible?
Oh, okay. Okay. Like finance and engineering.
Finance and engineering. Of course, people are using AI in different areas. And as I told you in the beginning also, that AI has been applied in different fields. And according to the problem, we have to design the system. So if you talk of finance, for example, stock market prediction, what will the price for the say, this stock in next month or next year? So we have to see the historical data, and we have to analyze the trend for some specific share of the prices, and then we can come out with some our algorithms can predict what will be the future prices. So people have worked in this area and many work has already been done, so that can be looked into. And similarly in other areas also, engineering also. For example, one of my student applied this uh, AI for say in structural engineering, okay, in some soft solid also, one student from mechanical engineering, he worked and they work on the, so engineering problems also are being solved using AI. But the thing is, we need to understand how we can make it an AI problem, and what is the our work, our main objective that we are going to achieve, and what are the techniques that can be used this to solve this problem. So I think it's clear now. Yes, we need to say think differently, right? It's not like that we can apply the same technique or same technology and the same way to different problems. No, according to the problems, we have to think of its representation, and then design our AI system. Any other question, please?
So there is one more question in the chat box from Himadri Sinha. What are the statistical tests are used for AI tools testing results?
People have used many statistical tests like p-test, f-test, and all this t-test. People have using this for AI tools, and accordingly statistical test, this they have this confidence of using whether the model is better or not. If you have two models, then we can compare according to the values of this test. So this has already used there. Yes, any other question?
So as there is no, no other question, I would like to thank Professor Rashid Ali for providing a valuable information. And I hope that the participant would have got the valuable information and the key idea pertaining to the research which they may require. The basic fundamental of the machine learning in AI was very well discussed over here. And I thank Professor Rashid Ali for giving us this valuable time for being a keynote speaker and deliver this talk. Once again, I thank Rashid sir for being with us and sharing his thought. So I thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me for the FTP. Okay. Thank you.
So uh, I invite Jitendra Goyal to talk about the next session. I think there is a 10 minutes given. After that, we start. So Dr. Jitendra Goyal will discuss about that.
So thank you, sir. So the next session will start at 11:10. Is this clear? Is this okay?